Beautifuls and Beloveds. Hope this finds you well. This is part 4 of whatever we're going to title this. So back to the State of the Union. So we see these people, you know, Miss Pelosi in white with blue, and then her colleagues, you know, Disney bounding like her. Not Disney bounding, but that's what Disney bounding is. You dress up like a character, wearing nuances of that character's colors or something like that. I guess they were Pelosi bounding. I don't know. It was a little interesting. And they were copping such attitudes. What are you doing? All of America is watching. We are watching. We, who now have power because you did something that was very... What? Really? You know what a great hot nugget this is? And no, we're not going to let you or anybody in the Democratic Party run away with this. You know, that's supposed to be your standing point, right? To be against big corporation. But I'm for corporations as long as they're doing the right thing. It's interesting to see who's donating to these people. It's public record, most of this stuff. It's not hard to find out. That's our research. And I'm like, well, that kind of explains a lot. What are you guys doing exactly? Just stop already. So, you know, I also find it's very interesting that, you know, the text that, it's not my phone, that line received, it's a business line. And I'm like, that's really interesting that we would receive that. What's really also additionally interesting is the timing of all of these things. Also, what we found interesting, you know, the parallels and the parallel beats with our dissertation versus the impeachment hoax. We were also doing an OCR, which is the Office of Civil Rights complaint, and it went through 4 people. Each time, first we were given the wrong, and this came from DeVos's office, supposedly, told somebody, I don't know how it went down. So I don't know if there were like holdovers from the, or leftovers from the prior administration in the education department or what. But they were saying and told us, we have the email documented, oh, you need to go to the Office of Civil Rights, here's this link, and the link didn't even work. We had to figure it out. Then we find the form, and the form says, oh, you can email it, you can mail it, you can fax it, all these different ways to get this information to them. Okay, it's documented. Well, we email it, and then they don't get it. And we email it again, and we carbon copy everybody. And it went through this process, right? 4 times, 4 intake people. 1, I bitched out because I'm like, I don't even trust you. I made such a nice complimentary statement about our president, and they were like, okay, you're telling me that you're not on our side already. Remember that whole thing?
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I want somebody else. Okay, so it's understandable why we would go on to the second one, because I was not happy or satisfied with how I was being treated. But the other 2, 3, and 4, and along each way, whether we were on the phone or emailing things, our documentation was being stripped from the attachments. And the document OCR says you can attach things. Completely legit and legal. And then one person saying, no, we can't do that, right?
Yeah.
Or they didn't have them.
That we can't send, that they can't access links due to, I don't know, policy or something?
Yeah, but why not? First, we already sent it all via email, and then they got deleted.
Yeah, they said they did not receive anything through the attachments.
And I'm like, BS, somebody's stripping this stuff. And then it went into spam folders. I'm like, well, why would that happen? This is official business. We're not soliciting you for, you know, buy this product. We're like reaching out for help. Reaching out for help is not spam folder content, just to let you Democrats know that. Nice, huh? Okay. So I'm nonpartisan, he's independent. I am not voting for any Democrat, I don't care. You guys have just totally turned me off. Totally. And you could be the nicest, most genuinest person, but you know what? This group here just ruined it for all of you. And now that we find out tonight that California has been made a sanctuary state, are you guys out of your mind? It's one thing if there's a war going on in Mexico or Canada and we're opening our arms, but there's a process. You just don't open your door and let them in. There is a process. They wait at a station. I know this because we looked it up. This is the federal law. Do it right. What are you doing? You are overriding the federal law. So do you see what past administrations have done? They have made this a breeding ground and a playground for criminals. And then you want to take away a means for us to defend ourselves against these criminals? I don't think so. Like the light's going on, okay? You ever watch Independence Day? This is just an analogy, guys. This is nothing else than that. Who made that? Was that a Universal film or who did that?
I thought it was a Universal.
I don't know. Nowadays, one group produces it with another group and another group distributes it and they're like enemies almost. It's like weird. Well, whoever did. And so it makes you and think of that one scene. We have Jeff Goldblum, right? And he's like, oh, they're using our satellites against us. And you know how they did it? They worked and conquered the bigger cities first, and then it spread to the smaller and smaller ones. That's extinction. I know that was just a fantasy movie. I know that. But it's funny how it seems to be working that way in real life. Look at Austin's being attacked. Houston. What else? We knew Texas was in for it. How did we know that? Because we saw more and more stories in the news about horrible things in the past 2.5 years happening to Texas. I'm like, they're going after Texas next. Who's they? Well, why don't you tell me? We know some of the theys, but we would like to know all of the they. Right? And then we're noticing now they're going after Tennessee. All of a sudden they're having earthquakes and all these other things. It's the same format. You know, Texas is getting hit. I'm like, you mean like that earthquake we had that was with the epicenter in Granada Hills? That makes me think of two things, fracking and quarry explosions. They simulate earthquakes and they can actually trigger them in some cases. So I'm wondering, wait, somebody has control over something about the weather and the earth somehow. We've seen white dust being sprayed and we have it on our own cameras. You can see it and it's time-lapsed. It starts as a long spray on two sides of the back part of the engine of a jet. And they're not commercial airliners. You remember that story? They're trying to blame the commercial airliners for that. Nice try. These are privately owned planes. And the dust just starts to spread and spread. So we've done several videos like this and like, let's just see. And then one time they formed clouds. And then another time, not only did they form clouds, but they sprayed through, remember, the clouds, and it rained. So we collected the rainwater and we did as much testing as we could ourselves. I mean, you can buy these tests at, it's, you know, you can test for chlorine because pool chemical stores, you're right. I know we're exhausted, we're not sleeping. And we tested this stuff so we know what's in it, and that's not regular rainwater. How do we know this? Because we collect rainwater, we drink it, and over the years it's changed. We tell you all the different contents over the years. So I think these people are a little screwed. And why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? All the time. It really happens when we're doing these videos. As you know, because you guys are seeing them, we put them up. Interesting stuff. So, you know, all these things we're watching, and then we're watching the senators and stuff in the audience, the ones who we know which states they represent. and we see their reactions to the things the president's saying. This makes the puzzle come together. They're pieces, okay? You say, oh, that must be a rhino. Oh, we can trust that person possibly, you know, and all this color coding, like we were saying, you know, the Pelosi bounding. And I'm like, they're sitting there, and it's like, you guys have no respect, and it's very unprofessional. Applaud. You can applaud down here, but at least show respect for the position. At least show respect for the fellow humans and the civilians of this country which you serve, and we pay you for it. That lame or that no reaction slumping represents. You're disdaining all of us, not just me, not just him, but everybody in this country, no matter what side of the fence they sit on. Show a little respect and at least applaud and respect. Like I said, you don't have to be jumping up out of your seat and applauding up here. Show respect on behalf of the people and your constituents, okay? We saw people who represent us as constituents, and I'm like, to hell with you people. It's like those very items that were mentioned by the president affect us. And you sourpusses and whatever other adjectives I can come up with that I really want to call you guys would call you and state, you know, this is your reaction. Knowing that maybe something that that man up there who everybody voted for said is helping me in my dire need, okay? Seriously now, I saw you. I have no respect for you now. So no Democrat is getting my vote. And I'm not Democrat. I'm not even Republican. I'm none of those things. Did I speak well?
Yeah, fine.
So yeah. Oh, I am pissed. But yet you guys stood and you applauded those civilians that were within your midst. So Miss Pelosi, are you going to stand for me when I present my case? You already haven't. Oh, and there's more of you. Just be lucky I'm not reading your names live. I want to know why she was so shocked to find out either that California was made a sanctuary state or she was reading ahead, reacting to something else. I want to know. I want to know. So, yeah, you're going to stand for me? You're going to applaud me? You're California. I get it. We might not live in your district, thank God, but, you know, the other one, you weren't standing either. We're watching. You weren't applauding either. What's this? You look very beautiful and attractive when you're smiling and your heart's right. Let me just tell you that much. If you're going to get mad and upset about the right things, not the wrong things. You see me here? I'm getting mad. I have every right to be mad. These other people who are helping us are making you look foolish. Sorry, I kind of took over.
That's fine.
The good Lord above gave me a voice and I am using it. The good Lord above gave me talents and I want to continue to use them. I don't want you people getting other third parties, talking to my brother, trying to put poison in his head and his heart, trying to tell me that I need to pass my company on to somebody else. Why? I never once told him, or any of you people, you need to stop doing what you love. What's that?
He's home, so.
At least he's home safe. Never once told any of you people to stop, what? What do you like doing? Oh, I had words from my brother too. I had said, whoever's influencing you, you tell them to stop it right now. I need encouragement. I need help. I don't need this BS. You heard me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So somebody is pulling a Peter Brady thing, recording our private conversations and feeding my words, which I was talking about a related subject, but not that. I wasn't talking about myself stepping down or anything. It's totally different and taken out of context and then repeated back to me. Something's got to be done. Oh boy, do we have something to share with you.
Cool.
He's happy about it.
Do you want me to do that, Bill?
Yes, I have to have him do stuff real quick.
Oh,
That's one of the things, but there's others.
okay. Okay, excuse yourself. I'll carry on.
Okay.
I know how to build a screen.
Okay.
Me and my littleness. Petite. But verbally lethal. And, yeah, I don't back down. Okay. So, anyway. And that doesn't even make my blood pressure go up. Can you do me a favor? Can you close that door? Yeah. Thank you. Oh wait, he's coming.
Here. I'll get that.
Okay. Can you turn the heater on? When he opened that door, let the frigid air in. Okay. So that's one of my things. Really. Where are you guys? Why are you asleep? Who got you into office? Lord knows it wasn't me. I don't know. Granted, it takes many people to make a problem. But granted, it also takes many people to make a solution. We want solutions now. And I want to know why the heck not only are words being gleaned from here, but ideas and ideas for other stories from my own personal life. We are writing things to try to get help in the form of dissertations, complaints, whatever we need to do. And then an element of one of these things, and then we see a story come out in the news that mirrors it. Granted, my story happened, oh my, it must be almost 11 years now, part of it. And it just kept compiling to the present issue. You don't know what I'm talking about, and I can't quite say too much yet. But that issue, in which we had to send something to OCR, and I'm like, I didn't even know OCR existed. I don't know what it is. I do now, or I didn't know what it is. Let me correct myself. And now I do, and I'm like, oh, that's good. I don't know why we were actually sent here only. You know, there are HIPAA violations we have to deal with. There are, we caught this virus on campus. 3 years this March we have it, and it lays dormant and comes back, and you know, somebody knows what it is. I'd like to know what it is so we can like get rid of it, you know. And whatever is being sprayed in that dust in the air is very conducive to keeping it generated, because when we stay out of it, these symptoms disappear. But we'd have to stay out of it for a much longer time. When we were back east, it was non-existent. When I went other places, we drove across country both ways with a flippin' bed. It was a prop for a Red Ribbons dance, right? On our vehicle. You gotta look at those pictures, it's great. We visited our nation's capital with that flippin' bed on our the hood of, or the roof of our you know, SUV. It was amazing. So funny. You know, and I'm like, wow, I don't even feel sick. My son, our family, company members were like, oh, yeah, we got sick. But I really hope that we're not some kind of experiment. Oh, and then I had to get some growth removed on my body because I have a cancer history. And now it's like this one company has my DNA. Don't, you guys, you're gonna be investigated. It better not go any further than what it was supposed to be used for, to make sure I don't have cancer. If any other people have my DNA and they're trying to see what the spraying is doing to my body or something else, or trying to find out, you know, my ancestry, well, I told you what my ancestry is already, and plus my brother already did it, so I know for sure. But the thing is, Stop. I never gave permission for that. It was only supposed to be diagnosed to see if it was cancer or not. That's it. You have no right to use it for anything else, so hopefully that's not the case where it was used for something else, because if we find out it was, you guys, really, put me in a boxing ring. I don't even need gloves. I'll put my point shoes on and kick your rear end. Okay, I would want to do it legally. I'd want to get permission though. I'm not a violent person by any means, but I'm just telling you my heart. That is how angry I am. Okay? And I don't know, you've seen me punching lately. These might be stronger than my bot maws. I don't know, but we'll see. That would be amazing. I'd want to box you. Making me so mad. So, all of this stuff. Yeah, okay? So, Miss Pelosi, what are you doing? And then the one who says, yeah, sure, we'll help you. I ain't signing my privacy rights over because of the very same thing I told you just 2 seconds ago. We hope that people are not copy and pasting my signature or board members' signatures or any of my family's signatures and putting it on another document saying, here, we have all of their privacy rights and now we can violate them and do anything. And here, let's backdate this. So see, everything that was done to her is now covered. It doesn't work that way. I'm not saying this is happening, but of all the things we have seen and uncovered, we have to question it. We have to make sure it's not happening, and that is why we were not doing that. So that doesn't really constitute as you handing us a hand to help us, because you can do many, many more things without us signing away our privacy rights. Not going to happen. Guys, be careful. All of you people, you need to be so careful what you sign. And you know what? We have a way of watermarking our signatures now, photographing our signatures, dating everything, so we know everything. That these signatures meant for this thing only, and if they show up any other place in the same way, you guys are going to be sued, and whatever extent of the law is given to us, and we're just pummeling away at this. We're not giving up. Not giving in to it either. Okay, so let's talk about some of the happy things that happened with the State of the Union. Oh, believe me, there's plenty more I can get mad at. So some of the happy things that I found out during the State of the Union was, President Trump is protecting intellectual property. And I'm like, thank you. Somebody who really gives a shit about us. Yeah, it's important because I believe in ownership, artist ownership. DanceWarrior ownership. If I want to give my stuff away to somebody, it is my prerogative, not anybody else's. So everything here and all these devices, people eavesdropping, this is my property. If it ends up on somebody else, you are going to be held responsible. Not the person speaking it necessarily, because they might not know. Some people know, some people don't, and we know the difference between the two. There you go. Everything we have found out, we have tediously and meticulously tracked. Not hard. This is what happens when you're ingenious and you have the will to fight. It didn't cost money. It was knowing what to do. Granted, it wasn't easy, and we're still uncovering things. So let's see, what else do we need to cover here? I'm missing my better half. Where is he? He's such a beautiful human being. He is so strong. He has been my Samwise. You know Samwise from The Lord of the Rings and that Tolkien character. He was not just a sidekick for the hero. Okay, even in the Bible, Moses had Aaron and Hur to lift up his arms because his arms got tired. Everybody needs a sidekick, but they might be the most beautiful, most thoughtful, and most giving and unselfish people ever to exist. They are that amazing. So what my Samwise does for me is something that also helps him too. Just like Samwise, the character, was fighting for the right to exist, because if Middle Earth was wiped out by the evil, it would eventually get to the Shire. And I know for my beloved, and for you guys too, if we don't stop this here and now, there is not going to be a happy future for you all. Why do you think Trump is actually doing what he's doing? I'm sure there are some things that he'll benefit from. He's not even taking a salary. I think $1 or something. He is doing this because he knows that his family is in the same boat. We are all on this earth. The gravity affects us all the same way. And if he doesn't dig in and do this now, what kind of a place are we going to have? Do you know we are so close to having the end of the world being ushered in, not because of Trump, but because of whoever they are? Like I said, we know some. Not personally, but we know who they are. Okay? It's like trying to usher in the millennium or trying to usher in the Antichrist. You can't fake this stuff, people. What's in the Bible is going to happen because God said so, not because you're trying to be Antichrist. You know, they like to use the 666 thing. You're not Antichrist, okay? You don't even fit the make of Antichrist. Read the Bible. But you probably wouldn't understand it if you're not Christians, because God reveals the truth only to his people. So you don't get it, is what I'm trying to say. You wield scripture as if you think you know what you're talking about, but if you're not a true believer and you're a fake Christian, or you're not even a Christian, you really have no say-so in the matter at all. Yeah, just saying. And here's the thing too. The end times will come when it's ready. There are too many people that need to be reached out to. It's not yet. We've been in the last week, you know, the last week in Daniel that's mentioned, for a very long time, since Christ's ascension into heaven. Many, many years have come and gone. So when people say we are on the cusp of it, we've been on the cusp of the end times since. You understand that? Maybe not. I don't know. But that is the truth of it. And so when I'm saying, yeah, the end times are near, people have been saying that since Christ's ascension. They are near. Near in the sense of a spiritual sense, not in a calendar year. You understand that? You understand the difference? Maybe, maybe not. Okay. So we are sitting here upon another cusp, and we are in World War III. It is a corporate war. It has been going on for a very long time. It's just gotten headier, and everything has come to a head. You understand? And somehow we factor into fighting against this in a big way. This has grown since we have learned. We didn't stop at this. I'm not satisfied. This thing, you see this? We have 3 binders full, and this, and a crate, and that's not even mentioning or including the transcripts from videos and phone calls and all that other stuff that compiled everything in our arsenal. And then there's photos, and then, you know, we're still, there's a lot. We haven't stopped. So Miss Pelosi, this is kind of old news, but it's still important news, and it's the foundation. We couldn't, like I said, we couldn't stop there. We wait for no one. We go ahead. We're fighting our own battles, and whoever wants to get on our ship and help us, fine. We welcome it. But it's not going to come in the form of any disguise of here's a helping hand, where really it's a spider that spun a web to catch us the fly. We didn't bite for the Feinstein thing, and we know that this was not a friendly reaching out of hand. How do we know that? Because right after that, we received retaliation in the form of jury summons, a polite way of threatening to audit our taxes. Our son, who hasn't been able to work in his profession because of what's been happening, he's been blacklisted. He did nothing. He can't even get work at Walmart. He can't get work anywhere except for the work from our company. And it's not very much because we can't do much right now anyway. And so they're like, you haven't done a tax thing. It's like, you idiots. We have all the paperwork here. You want copies of it? He was our dependent, and he can't work right now. There's the accident, and he's still injured, and he's going to have to rehabilitate even further, and now he has to re-educate because he can't be on his feet.